Hey everybody, welcome back to this week's Dark Avengers comic book review. We were talking about the new Avengers, and just to wrap it all up, it's a good book. Honestly though, in the two, it was the better of the two because in this book, Norman Osborn had the upper hand, and the Avengers were all basically screwed. In this book, the Avengers beat the Dark Avengers Thor, however, the ending put them in the middle. So Norman Osborn didn't win in this one, but the U.S. government is questioning them now. So really, both of them are lose-lose. Neither one of the Avengers teams actually won. They kind of both lost in their own respect. Now, to be honest with you guys, Brian Michael Bendis is an okay writer. I'm not going to say all of his work was terrible because I did like a lot of the stuff he wrote way back when. I'm not going to lie. Every writer has his moments except for Grant Morrison, whom I hope gets sent back to wherever he came from and never comes back again for what he's done to Superman, for Batman Inc. and a few other things. But beside the point, because a lot of people do like Batman Inc. and I am unfortunately going to be checking out Batman Inc. because a lot of people said, Chris, you're going to like it. And if I do like it, I'll be the first one to say I like it. But beside the point, we're not talking about Grant Morrison. We're talking about Brian Michael Bendis. If you go through a lot of the Marvel stuff, you'll notice that Bendis' name is on a lot of it. Now granted, it's not on Daredevil, it's not on anything Spider-Man related anymore, like Dan Slott, who's been doing an awesome job on Spider-Man, like I said. He left Spider-Man. He's in the Ultimate Universe. All the Ultimate books are with Bendis. All the Avenger books are by Bendis. Bendis doesn't do X-Men, thank you God. And he doesn't do a couple other things, but give other writers a chance. I mean, for real. Why does Brian Michael Bendis have to write Avengers? Or have to write half the stuff that's going on? You're stretching one man across so many titles and you're leaving, and that takes away from other writers. Other writers can do good work. Look at Mark Waid, look at all the other writers. Look at Dan Slott, to name a few. They're doing great work. You don't need Brian Michael Bendis' name on every single one of your Marvel comics. So I hope after Avengers vs. X-Men, which has all the writers involved on it, they're going to take away some of Brian Michael Bendis' comics. Leave him in the Ultimate Universe. He did a really good job in the Ultimate Universe. Why does he have to do everything? And that's the writer. Now let me talk about Norman Osborn really quick. And leave a comment below if you're watching this and you feel the same or differently to the way what I'm about to say. Is it just me, or is there anybody else out there that misses Norman Osborn as Green Goblin? I miss it. I really do. Norman Osborn has not been Green Goblin for over 5 years. The last time he was Green Goblin was before the Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion, Norman Osborn came out of nowhere and became this great hero. And then Hammer was created, then the Dark Avengers were created, then Norman Osborn went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and you're like, okay, he went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, now it's time for him to go back to being Green Goblin. No, the new Dark Avengers. Not even a year, it is a year. A year later, the Dark Avengers are back in our faces. I hope after this story arc, Norman Osborn goes so cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs that he goes into hiding and comes back in the Spidey comics in about a year, because we all know ends of the earth and whatnot is going to take place, and we're not going to have time for the Green Goblin until after that. But when that's over, hopefully Norman Osborn will go back to being Spider-Man's arch nemesis, the Green Goblin. You don't see Lex Luthor. I mean, yes, Lex Luthor was president in DC Comics for a while. You know, he was like that whole anti kind of hero thing for a while, but he was still Superman's nemesis. In this, he's only Spidey's nemesis as far as the Avengers go. I mean, you could see the animosity towards that he shows towards Spider-Man, but you don't see him here anymore. You don't see him as Green Goblin. You've changed Norman Osborn's character so much that it's just Norman Osborn now, not Green Goblin. Lex Luthor was always Lex Luthor, period. Lex is Lex. This is the second side of Norman Osborn. I would like to see Green Goblin again at some point. Green Goblin is one of my favorite Spidey villains and one of the all-time favorite villains in the Marvel U, in my opinion. I've loved Green Goblin. I love the Green Goblin stories because, you know, Spidey knows Norman Osborn, and Norman Osborn knows how to get to Spider-Man in a way. And it's always fun to see that rivalry between just the two, not involving teams, the two. So hopefully once Norman Osborn gets whatever super soldier serum thingy he has inside of him out and gets thrown, and the new event, and the Dark Avengers obviously are going to lose, because anybody who saw the Avengers versus X-Men preview, Avengers are working with the government, so obviously this all paved over pretty well. Hopefully we'll get to see a Norm return with Norman Osborn, and he goes back to Spidey. Because, I mean, seriously, am I the only one? Tell me below. Would you rather see Norman like this, or would you like to see Green Goblin again? Because I would like to see the Green Goblin again. I mean, I think it's really cool that he's like this super arch nemesis of the Avengers, but it's taking away from Spider-Man, in my opinion. Here comes Daredevil, the Man Without Fear, Daredevil number 9. I'm not going to give too many spoilers away. I've been trying really hard, guys, so that this way I get you guys more interested in buying the books. So I'm just going to say in this one, Daredevil's father goes missing. Black Cat is in this book for 2 pages. Turns out that her hookup with Daredevil wasn't just coincidence. There was a job involved. I won't say what. You'll have to find out. So Daredevil, the whole book is really searching. Daredevil's searching for the why and the where. We get the where answered. It's Mole Man. We all know it's Mole Man here. We don't get the why answered, though. We get more along the lines of questions and bigger question marks to why by the end of this book. And the artwork in this book is really good. I'll show you guys a page. It's very dark, though, because you got to remember, Daredevil's underground now. But in my opinion, this is the best place for Daredevil because he's blind anyway. So best place is caves, no? So really good. The book is really awesome. I would highly say check it out just to see the weird stuff, especially the last page. That was the weirdest. So yeah, let's just say it's weird, and you'll see why if you read this. But it's really good. I would highly, highly, highly recommend you checking this out. Next up, a standalone story in Avenging Spider-Man number 4, and the standalone is with Hawkeye. And I didn't know Hawkeye outside of the Avengers books because Hawkeye never had an ongoing that I was interested enough to buy. So in this book, I get to a little bit more of a understanding of Hawkeye. And I remember him when he was in the New Avengers back when they were outlaws during Dark Reign, and I thought he was okay. This book, he's a pompous jerk. I don't like him. If anything, I want to punch him in the face repeatedly because he's arrogant. And I'm sure a couple of you guys are going to say that's Hawkeye. I understand that's Hawkeye. I kind of figured that out. But it works for Secret Avengers. It really does. And it's going to work. I know it's going to work for Captain America and Hawkeye when that title starts up. I can't wait to read that. But in this book, they look like they especially pushed out that pompous side of him, that snarky kind of, oh, it's so good. But then you kind of get a little glimpse into him a bit more when he actually says, I have to be good, because if I'm not good, then what am I doing on the Avengers? What's the point? What did I waste my life doing? Because technically, and here's some examples of artwork, technically he's done nothing with his life. All he is an Avenger. He has no day job. He has nothing. He's Hawkeye 24/7. Without that, he has nothing. So he has to be good. So you get a little bit of sympathy for the character. And Spider-Man does something really nice for him in this book. And I'm not going to tell you guys what. You should read it. The artwork, as I just showed you, is different. It's not the same as the Red Hulk artwork, so it's really good. Check it out. I do, however, agree a bit. It's better not to have this polybag, because people who want to check out the book in the comic store, you know, just flip through it, will have the ability to now. And the free code, which I didn't redeem yet, so I'm going to cover it, is a little sticker on the back page that you actually have to, like, peel off the top part to get the code. And you can't do that in the comic store, because first of all, you got to memorize the code, which is a really, really long code. And second of all, you're going to get caught ripping that sticker off. So I think that was a bit of a better idea, so this way you don't have to worry about a poly bag to rip open all the time. But they're going to be doing it for Avengers vs. X-Men also, which is going to be cool. Well, at least now they have a reason to charge you $3.99. Free digital download. Anyway, this book was really good. The next issue has Captain America guest starring. Eagerly awaiting that one. But this story was pretty good. Hawkeye, you're going to love to hate him. And the story was pretty interesting. A night out on patrol with Spidey and Hawkeye. Really interesting. Check it out. Next, the Invincible Iron Man 513. Continuing to be really, really good. Mandarin's plan just continues forward, and everything's going according to plan. In China, the dam is being attacked by dreadnoughts, and it's up to Iron Man to stop them. And then the Dynasty, they're called, which is basically the equivalent to the militarized Avengers from China, show up to help, and Iron Man is helping them, or they're helping Iron Man. I don't know. Iron Man shows up first, but they insist that he's helping them. So Iron Man shows up to help them. There's a bunch of stuff in the middle that happens. Then War Machine shows up. Yes, I'm showing a bit of artwork, and he helps all of them. But in the end, the Dreadnoughts become 2 kamikaze, and yeah, this was also a nice, awesome page. However, and this is a spoiler, a brief one, Tony Stark gets caught by the army at the end of this issue, and he's going back for trial. I gotta admit, I love these March previews though. Like, this is an example of one of the previews, Thor versus Tannerus next month. I'm looking forward to it. March is gonna be a huge month for Marvel, I'm telling you guys. And then the last page is the whoa. That leaves you wondering, oh God, what's gonna happen next? What are they doing? What is whatever his name is Israel Ezekiel Stane and Mandarin? What's their huge plan, and how is Iron Man going to stop them with all the troubles that he's going through right now? So really, really good. I would highly recommend checking this out. I feel bad I dropped the comic. I'm going to get the other 3 comics that I think it was about 3 or 4 or 5 comics that I missed in the last story arc. I'm going to get those. And I'm gonna trade paperback. I believe there's one more story I missed, or I think it was just that one. I don't know. I have to check it out. But I feel bad for dropping this series. It was really, really good. Check it out. Another really good one, Winter Soldier #2. Ended with the monkey or the ape, and it began this time with the ape. Have you ever seen an ape with a rocket or jetpack? I could sure say I have now, because there was an ape in this book with a jetpack. Yeah, yeah, jetpack ape, really, really great jetpack ape. Let's see, I want to try to find a good picture. Oh, Dr. Doom wasn't killed, by the way. It was just an attempt, but he's sure as hell pissed off. It turns out it was one of the sleeper agents, and you get a little bit more into Bucky's past with the other 3 sleeper agents. Turns out they find out that there was an auction. And that's where the sleeper agents' codes and locations were given out. So Bucky and why is the name escaping me right now? Black Canary go in and not Black Canary. What am I saying? Hello. Forgot her name. Why is Black Widow? Why did I say Black Canary? They go in and raid the auction. And turns out the auction doesn't look for names, they only care about the money. All he could mention was it was an old Russian guy, and he was some scientist type, and he took one other thing, and you find out, and he says, I figured he was going after Dr. Doom, and they're like, why? Because they bought one other thing with the location and the codes, and you find out what it is on the last page. Not showing you guys. This is too good not to be checking out. Fun spy story, sleeper agents galore, and they're going after Dr. Doom in Latveria, wherever he's from, however you pronounce where he's from. Look into this. Look into this. It's only issue 2. Look into this. Pretty fun stuff. Another really good book, and the last one from Marvel. Wolverine 301, continuing the story. Wolverine versus Sabretooth, son of the Silver Samurai. Wolverine's daughter. Okay, so now we have Wolverine has a son, Dawkins, and now he has a daughter. Now I'm pretty sure this was mentioned somewhere before, and that's why I kind of probably am going to feel stupid when somebody comments saying, Chris, they mentioned he had a daughter already. But I didn't know. Okay? Didn't know. Off the bat. Did not know. So Wolverine is there to save his daughter, and he says, get the hell away from my daughter. That's his daughter, apparently. Yaki, I believe is how you pronounce her name. I'm probably pronouncing it 100% wrong. Oh no, Amiko. Sorry, Amiko. Yakuza versus the Red Right Hand, Silver Samurai. I want to get a better picture though. It's Wolverine versus Silver Samurai for a bit. Silver Samurai gets captured. Wolverine takes, why do I forget her name so fast? I mean, come on. Amiko. I'm not Chinese, it's hard for me to memorize these things. So Wolverine is trying to figure out where they're at. He finds out where they're at. It's in 3 chapters, this book. There was a disgusting part with a beetle. I'm not explaining what happens. And Wolverine, finally in costume, is on his way towards the to get Silver Samurai back, and his daughter's not too far behind, and it's to be continued. Mystique and Sabretooth at the ready. Good stuff. Good stuff. I would say check this out. I love Wolverine. This is definitely one of the strongest out of the X books. Yes, Wolverine is still considered an X book. I would say check out Wolverine. And with that, we're leaving Marvel and going into the tiny stack of DC books that I have left that I'm still getting. Green Lantern Corps number 6. Guy Gardner shows up. Jon Stewart is having very little trouble killing people nowadays, and that's all I'm going to say. You have to read this book to understand. But ever since the War of the Green Lanterns, where he killed Mogo, it seems very easy for him to kill people now. And it happens here. Long story short, this is a book full of fights, and every other page looks like... and I'm not joking, you'll see this happen a lot in the book. Here's one of the pages where it's an all-out fight between the Green Lanterns and the others. And that was the last page instead of the first one. Here's another one. It's just an all-out fight throughout the entire book. The rest of the book, it's all a fight. The entire fight. And I love what they did with the Yellow Lantern Corps 2 that they were bringing along to help them out. Really good. In the end, justice is served. You have to read the ending to like it. Really good. Check this out. Really good. Red Hood and the Outlaws number 6 deviates from its plan. And actually, instead of this being number 6, they should call this issue 0, because the story in this takes place before issue 1. Remember at the end of issue 1 where it said to be explained? Half a year later, it's explained. You get the explanation of how Jason Todd and Starfire met, how Jason Todd found out about Roy Harper being put in jail, which is where the first issue began. And you get a whole bunch of backstory. There's a dream sequence where he's talking to Nightwing, and you can see that Jason Todd's a pompous ass. And then there's another flashback where Nightwing saves Batman from Jason Todd. Beautiful artwork, especially these 2 pages. Really nice sunrise artwork. Really good. You see that Jason Todd and Starfire have done nothing. They've actually, even though Starfire kind of hinted towards wanting to do something, they don't. I don't believe they do anyway. So, yeah, this book ends where issue 1 begins. So if you want the beginning of Red Hood and the Outlaws, the absolute beginning, it's here. So when they make the trade paperback, in my opinion, issue 6 should go before issue 1, because this is really a prequel to the whole story. Really good, awesome artwork. I've liked this series since issue 1. Regardless of what people have been saying about Starfire, this is good. I don't care. A lot of the Bat books are good. That's the sad thing. They have so many Bat books, you'd think that one of them, well, there is one, but you'd think that more than just one of them would stink. But to be honest, Batman's doing really good in the DCU. The problem is, though, the other superheroes aren't doing so well. Except Green Lantern. I'm sorry, Green Lantern's still doing pretty good. Birds of Prey number 6. Turns out the cleaners are just brainwashed people. And Choke is using these mind-controlled things to brainwash them into doing whatever he wants them to do, which is a wow. And this whole story in this issue is about catching who Choke is and finally revealing him. And in this issue, we don't get that. We don't get the reveal of who Choke is yet. In the next issue, however, Choke will be revealed. Artwork is great. They saved a bunch of people that were under Choke's control that are no longer under Choke's control. They resolved the Starling thing way too fast. One page explained it all. Apparently, she was mentally screwed around in the head, and that's how she got caught by those people. That Black Canary didn't betray her. They messed with her mind, Choke, and that's why she almost got killed. So it was all resolved in literally one panel. So that was kind of a quick resolve, but whatever. You know, there's a lot more other stories going on. Some artwork, some artwork, some artwork, some artwork, some artwork, some artwork. Batgirl looked really sweet in the shadows. Really nice. It was a really good book. Turns out the guy from the very first issue that kissed Black Canary, I almost said kicked, was the last person they ended up saving, and he wanted to actually help catch Choke. So he went back into work, and I love how the revelation at the very last panel where Black Canary says, "Because we caught you, Choke. I trust my team because we got you." To be continued. I'm not a Birds of Prey fan, but damn, Black Canary is good, and Poison Ivy's fun, and Batgirl's in the mix now. And Starling I didn't know because she was in the Wildstorm universe, but she's coming along pretty well. And yeah, really good. I would say it's a good book. Pretty good book. Sticking with the female genre for another book, Wonder Woman #6. She uses Hades and Poseidon to lure Hera out, to give her a warning that, you know, she's coming for her at some point. And the artwork's really good. This definitely hooked me for another issue for the simple fact of the last page alone, the last 2 pages alone. I loved how Wonder Woman invades Hera's house, and she's like, "You dare come to me in my house, I will destroy you." And she's like, "You already destroyed me," which she did. She destroyed all the Amazons on are now snakes, and Wonder Woman's mother is turned to stone, so she has nothing left to lose. So in the end, she threatened Hera. Basically, that's the whole point. It's pretty good. You know, a lot of people are dropping this because of newer stories and whatnot. I think it's pretty good. Is there a second story arc yet? Absolutely not. It's still going. It's pretty okay though. Would I say give Wonder Woman a shot? Absolutely. Wonder Woman hasn't done anything bad yet. Not something that's worth dropping. I mean, it did get boring at times. It did. But there were parts. This book was a lot more talky than action, but for some weird reason I kind of expected it in this book. And it was nice to see Hera get her you-know-what served for once. So, up to you guys. Personally, guilty pleasure, I thought it was pretty okay. Whether everybody agrees with me or not, that's beside the point. Nightwing, my favorite Batman assistant or sidekick ever. Dick Grayson, really good. Really good. I enjoyed it. They're in Texas now. Of all places, Texas. And Nightwing is looking for information still on Psycho. And Psycho turns out to be this guy whom you really didn't get too much info on him. I have a feeling, though, in the next issue, it's not going to continue from the last page. It's going to continue. It's going to start off at the past and explain who this guy is, Raymond. Unless they already did explain about him and I just went over my head today, but I read this comic today, that's why. Artwork is beautiful as always. I love the Nightwing artwork. So anyway, Raymond and the girl that Dick is with are hatching a plan, here's a good page, to destroy Dick Grayson, kill him, and Haley's circus goes back to Haley's son, I forgot his name, Brian? 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 It is Brian. Yeah, Brian Haley. So basically, Raymond wants to kill Dick Grayson. The circus goes back to Brian, and this guy gets his revenge. And the way it's done is they go back to Gotham, and basically, it's a tribute weekend for the Flying Graysons, which I kind of find ironic, because if this is Dick's costume during the Flying Graysons. How did nobody know Dick Grayson was Nightwing? Putting a mask on doesn't change the costume, but then again, he might have changed it a little bit when he became Nightwing. Really good. Alfred shows up. There is a plug going on between Batman 4 and 5 where Batman's missing. Batman 6 is here. We'll get into that in a second. It was really good. In the end, Nightwing, Psycho breaks into the celebration. Nightwing finds out it's Raymond, and things go boom, and to be continued. I'm sorry. I love Nightwing. I wish I would have collected the comics from back then. It was really good. Highly recommend Nightwing as one of the side Batman books. Book of the week, and most fun read I've had this month thus far as Batman books. Batman number 6. Batman in the last issue was at the mercy of the Council of Owls. In this issue, finally, it snaps, and Batman becomes, he fights back finally, so to speak. Greg Capullo's artwork is second to none, the best, as always. And he finally fights back. This is the variant cover, by the way. I didn't get the real cover because the real cover was kind of gross-ish to me. But Batman finally fights back when he sees a picture of his great-grandfather, Alan Wayne, where it looks like he was begging for someone to help him, to stop the council, and he's like, fine, ignore the phone. One more ring. And okay. And basically, Batman finally fights back, and he beats the living daylights out of Talon. And basically, Talon's just outsmarted. Like, Batman knows what to say to this guy. He's like, shut up and fight me. He's like, no, you're nothing, you're nobody. And basically, he psyched out Talon. And this was a nice picture, even though it's not Batman. It's like, he's still drugged, by the way, guys. So he beats Talon, and then he throws out this threat to the entire Council of Owls. He's like, that goes for all of you. Do you hear me, Court of Owls? Oh, Court of Owls. Sorry. Court, not Council. Whoever you are, you can't hide from me. I know this city inside and out. I'm coming. I'll be back. This is finished. I'll be back for all of you. And that's when he leaves. I'm not going to spoil the ending, but yeah. There wasn't just one Talon. Let's leave it at that. And this is going to lead into, I believe, the 8th issues are going to, in all the Bat books, this one, Nightwing, Birds of Prey, Red Hood and the Outlaws, I don't think Teen Titans. I think Red Robin's going to make an appearance in Detective Comics. So he'll be in Detective. And all the Bat titles are going to be linked together to the Court of Owls. Going to be really good. That proves how good this story is. So anyway, that's Batman, Book of the Week. Mike's giving me the finger, so I'm going to do this really quickly, the finger to wrap it up. So, Batman, number 6, Book of the Week, awesome. Nightwing 6, awesome. Wonder Woman 6, pretty good, up to you guys. Birds of Prey, number 6, pretty good, up to you guys. Red Hood and the Outlaws, number 6, should have been called number 0, pretty good. Green Lantern Corps, number 6, still third favorite, but pretty good. Wolverine 301 was great. Winter Soldier, number 2 was great. Invincible Iron Man 513 was awesome. Avenging Spider-Man 4 was pretty good. Daredevil number 9 was good. New Avengers number 21 was better than Avengers number 22, which was okay. I just want to get away from the Dark Avengers already. Amazing Spider-Man 679.1. You don't need this to jump onto Amazing Spider-Man, but it was a good self-contained story. Venom 13.2, pretty good. Interesting to see how everything went down. Star Wars Dawn of the Jedi 1 was good. Transformers More Than Meets the Eye number 2 was really good. Ghostbusters number 6 was awesome. Infestation 2, Transformers number 2, and Dungeons & Dragons number 1. Up to you guys. Dungeons & Dragons was definitely the weaker of the two. Magic the Gathering number 1. Up to you guys. Give it a chance if you're interested. Comes with a free card. I found it good. If you have the extra money to throw away, take a chance on it. The story was pretty good. Alright guys, that's it. Hope you had a happy President's Day. Take care everybody. I'll see you next week. Keep reading. See you guys soon. Take care.